Good afternoon, YTPC. It's Emerson Southern Forge with another episode of Home Blending. So, a couple of days ago, a new friend, Bill, contacted me via email. He had seen my interview with Parsimonious Pipers, and Ethan is just such a gracious host, and it just had a wonderful interview with him. And Bill contacted me and said, "Hey, can you whip something special up for me?" And I said, "Sure. What do you have in mind?" He says, "Well, I'd like something with Latakia." He goes, "I like English Balkan blends, but I'd really like something that would have a cigar leaf in it, a little touch of perique, but he also wanted something that would appease his sweet tooth." I'm like, "Okay, let's give this a shot." So today we're going to put together, and Bill wants this blend called Duke of Westwood. So we'll pop that up, and you can see Duke of Westwood. So we're going to put Bill's blend together today. He did not want it pressed, so I'll send him the test sample tomorrow in the mail and see what he thinks, and we'll kind of go from there. So let's go ahead and get started on building Duke of Westwood. So it'll be an English blend, we'll start off with Latakia because I love Latakia. I can't help it. And there's nothing wrong with smoking something you like. And there we go. And I'm trying to get the sound better, so I move the microphone a little closer to where I actually will talk. I'm not a video guy. I just do this for fun. I'm not professional in any way, shape, or form, so do the best we can. Next we're going to put in is a little lemon leaf. It's one of the sweeter Virginias, straight Virginias that I have. And I think it'll add something to this to get closer to the mark. And let's put a little in here. I think it's important to talk to yourself when you're working on stuff too. I don't know if y'all do that or not, but I hold conversations. So you're just listening to the inner monologue that's going on in my head right now. Should be terrifying enough for everyone. Okay. We're going to add some long cut, which is, again, another of the sweeter Virginias, and we'll put that in. And we'll get that sprinkled in. Come on. Math. Hard. Okay. Now we've got the long cut. So we've got two Virginias. And when Bill and I were talking, I had talked about using one of two of the cigar leaves. I thought that either Glasgow Magistrate or African Cameroon might fit the bill. When he came up with the name of Duke of Westwood, I just kind of gave up and said, you know what, let's go with Glasgow Magistrate. Scotland. We're good. Call it good. One more thing. And then after we do this blend, and I try not to fall out of my chair, which will be fun. Again, inner monologue. I promised you guys that I would show you the books that I read while I started on this journey. And some of them are easy to find, and some of them are a little harder to find. But don't let that stop you. At least I'll give you the title, and then I'll put all the titles and authors in the description below. And if you guys want to read what I read and look at things how I look at things, then we can certainly do that together. Okay, so now we've added a little stoved red Virginia, which I like. It's got a nice, sweet, cooling kind of property to it. And it adds a nice dark touch to the blend. Is color really all that important? No. As long as it smokes cool and smooth and tastes great, it's fine. But sometimes the aesthetics matter, and periodically I like to make sure that they do. So now we're going to add a little Glasgow Magistrate, which I absolutely love. Of all the cigar leaves that I have tried and smoked, I really like Glasgow Magistrate and Blind Monkey. I just think that they're both exceptional. And they're not what I would have expected out of cigar leaf. We've talked about this before. When you get cigar leaf, like the cigar leaf from C&D or the cigar leaf available through Pipes and Cigars and smokingpipes.com, it's very strong. It can overpower a blend very quickly. And I find that all 5 of the cigar leaf blends that I have don't do that. They're not overpowering. They won't take over a blend. They are just an excellent addition to the blend, and really like it. And now we'll put in just a touch of Perique, because that's what he asked for, just a touch. Not a whole lot. Math words hard. All right, so we got a little bit of Perique in. We'll put some gloves on. And mix this up and see what we get for a tin note. And then the final judge will, of course, be Bill. So when you get this in a couple of days, Bill, please comment below and let me know. If you guys are enjoying the content, please comment below. If you like it, like and subscribe. If you're new, I try to post a blending video every couple of days, or at least something to do with pipe tobacco. And I want to create content for you guys. Benjamin, so if you're watching, Ben, I wanted to let you know that I do have Rustic on ordered it. I ordered it about 2 weeks ago. During the Midnight Summers Dream, he left a note in the comment, and he had an idea for a blend called Touchstone and Prospero. And the Prospero, he wanted Rustica. Okay, we can do that. But I don't have it, and I've never used it before. But I have wanted to. I put it on order at the company that I have to order from, which will remain nameless, is very, very slow. Beyond slow. And I'll leave it at that. And Kirk, if you happen to watch this video, I did order some of the Criollo, and I ordered some Ligero for a blend that he has an idea for. And when that comes in and I get it shredded, we'll do a video on that. So Benjamin and Kirk, your videos are coming. I'm just waiting on product to make it from. So there we go. And here we are already at the 8-minute mark. And I really like the tin note on this. Let's see if you guys can see. It looks excellent in the bowl. It really has a nice look. Fantastic tin note again. It'll be what I would consider to be a light, sweet English blend. Although because of the cigar leaf, the label I made for it is a cigar leaf series. So, but we'll let Bill decide. Bill's going to tell us what he thinks. And we'll go from there. So, excellent. So I'll put this off to the side, and we'll jar it up and get to it in a minute. But let's talk about the books that I read to get here. So the first book that I picked up in my pipe tobacco journey, The Book of Pipes and Tobacco by Carl Ehwa. Excellent book. Tons of information, from how it came, as just a wild plant in the North and South America, to pipes that were made, to briar and clay. Just a fantastic resource. I really like the book. Excellent artwork inside of it. I would highly recommend this book. Really like it. And again, I'll put all the information in the description below. And then I got a hold of the Tobacconist Handbook. Now, I will tell you up front that this book is more geared towards cigar and cigar smoking. But it does have excellent information on pipe tobacco, how it's grown, and just basically smoking tobacco in general, and what they're doing. If I had time in my life, I would like to become a certified tobacconist, but this whole working for a living thing sometimes gets in the way. So Okay, next up, I got a book called Blend Your Own Pipe Tobacco, and I talked about this with Parsimonious Piper. The information in it is great. It's got some really nice stuff in it, but the way that Robert put the blends together, I kind of disagree with. I don't like, where it's one ingredient heavy, where it's 50% of one thing. That doesn't give me that complex, nuanced blend that I'm looking for. And a lot of blends in the book are one ingredient top heavy. So great information in the book, regardless, though, of whether I agree with it or not. Again, if you're going to blend at home, I highly recommend the Tobacconist Handbook and this book just for a reference guide, just so that you can see. And even the Blend Your Own book, he even gives you tin labels. It's an excellent resource. Highly recommend it. Then I got into the weeds. This is the Growing Cotton and Tobacco as a Cash Crop. It was written around the turn of the 20th century, so 1900s, early 1900s. I think its first publication date was 1895. Obviously, this is not a first edition, but it goes in depth on how cotton was grown back then and what it was. And for a reference point, my maternal side of the family was from Kentucky. My great-grandmother grew up on a tobacco farm. And she would tell stories about how she would have to go out in the field and pick whatever this tobacco-eating bug was off. And they're very large, and they're nasty, and you take them off and kill them. And that's what she did as a child. And my grandmother as well did these things. So I have a connection to tobacco growing, as faint as it may be. Then I got the book Grow Your Own Cigars, which is about growing at home. And I fantasized about this. I would like to have enough land at some point in my life where I could actually grow some tobacco on my own. The move to Florida, however, is probably a long shot at this point. I'm not getting any younger. So again, excellent resources. It tells you starting it from seedlings. It's just a very in-depth book, and it's written by the same guy that wrote the Blending Your Own Pipe Tobacco. It's Robert Goff. Great book. If you want to learn how to grow tobacco, grow your own cigars. Great book. Okay. Pipe Smoking, a 21st Century Guide by Richard Carleton Hacker. Excellent book. Lots of information. Talks about all the different variables in pipe smoking. Talks about different blends. It's just a great companion book for any pipe smoker. Another good book. And last book on the list, and one of my personal favorites, is Rick Newcombe's In Search of Pipe Dreams. This is a man that loves pipes and tobacco, and it shows in his writing. He is enamored of all things pipe and tobacco. He has this enormous pipe collection from artisans all over the world. He has traveled extensively. He has written mountains of articles about pipe tobacco, and this was a culmination of a lot of his writing and work. In fact, I think there's a second and third one that are out. But just Rick Newcombe is a man you can tell by his writing that he loves everything about pipes and tobacco. And it's certainly an exquisite read. And I highly recommend this book as well. So those are the books that got me started on this. This is kind of the direction I went in. And then from there, it was trial and error. So a little bit longer video today than I normally like to do, but I wanted to get Duke of Westwood out for Bill. So Bill, I hope you like what you saw, and more importantly, I hope you like what you taste when you get it. Benjamin Kirk, your blends will be coming. Cloud Finnan and Prospero and Futura, but just got to wait on the product. And lastly, thank you to Parsimonious Piper. He did just a wonderful review yesterday on Blind Monkey. I cannot say thank you enough to Ethan. If you're not a subscriber to his channel, please do so. He's just one of the more gracious, wholesome people in the pipe community, and I highly recommend it. If you like pipe tobacco reviews and pipe tobacco, I also recommend At Noah's House. He also does gardening. He does other things. He just built a wonderful little pipe rack out of pallet wood, and I highly recommend At Noah's House as well. So lots of other channels, and we'll get to those, but I just wanted to do a quick two-part video today. Books I read and the blend for Bill. So y'all have an excellent day, and we'll see you on the next one.